Hey everyone, welcome back to Go Kick Me, your favorite crowdfunding news and reviews channel here on YouTube. So today we're going to talk about a Kickstarter that's also an Indiegogo because it's already finished. Project called Nemo by Blue. That's Blue with a 3. Is it Blue 3? They say it's Blue. Anyway, it's called the world's smallest dive system. Take Snorkel to the next level with Nemo. One diver, 10 feet, 60 plus minutes. Now on Indiegogo. Yes, they are promoting it on Indiegogo because it's actually finished the campaign here on Kickstarter, and somehow you can do this where because Indiegogo has a thing called in demand, which is basically like it's already finished crowdfunding and you can just pre-order it. They're allowed to like link the two. So basically, it just finished, I think, 2 or 3 days ago. By this time you see this will be maybe a week or more. They got 237 backers, pledging 140,000, give or take. So, as you can imagine, that means that the unit price is not cheap on these guys. So, let's talk about this project. So, as you can see, basically, it's called SSA. It's like surface supplied air. It's like a snorkel with a really long snorkel. So let's watch the video. And so you have this little unit here on the top, and you snorkel on a hose. I should warn you, this video has a lot of, I would call it TNA, a lot of thongs, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but your results may vary. So actually the video is quite long, it's like 2.5 minutes, mostly of underwater stuff. All the cool stuff that you'll see when you're using your Nemo. And of course there's stuff just waiting for you to find it. So yeah, I mean it's aimed at people who like to snorkel, or people who own boats, people who really want to spend a lot of time under the bottom of the pool or whatever. But yeah, I guess if you lived in a place like this, you might want to go down there more often. One of the advantages of this thing is like it's sort of plug and play. You don't have to like, I mean, obviously you have to charge a battery, but you don't have to like get compressed air and all sort of stuff. A little bit more involved with actual scuba diving, but it allows you something a little bit beyond normal snorkeling. You know, but if you're a good snorkeler, you can actually go this, 10 feet underwater is not that far. You could do that, hold your breath, go down there, go back up, spit the air out. But hey, this is the one that actually kind of scared me. To me, this would be extremely dangerous and a really bad idea. So they're actually showing it in a wrecked ship. So in this case, it's one that's on the surface. But like, let's say she's swimming out of this hole here. What if her little thing gets caught? What if the hose gets pinched? What if this thing gets pulled out of her mouth? I would imagine that that's, generally bad practice. Like right here, like what if it had got stuck? What if there was something on the surface that hit the flag that she couldn't see because she was underwater? Generally, I believe in this case too, like the actual snorkel, air intake is on the top of the hose. Yeah, that's a blue pipe there. Hey, we're all ready to go. So, a little bit annoying, but they don't actually really show the product until 2 minutes into the video. But that's just me. Look how much fun it is. Me and my 2 bikini friends are going to go snorkeling in the sunset. It's going to be the worst visibility right there. Actually, that's actually pretty dangerous. That's when sharks are out. Or they mistake people the most and bite them. Is in the dusk time. So anyway, yeah, that's the product. what do I think of it? Well, it's not that bad. These guys are actually pretty legit. They're owned by a company. I actually did a little research. They're actually backed by a larger company called Brownies Diving Equipment. Um, and they are the makers of like real commercial or professional systems, not just these Snorkel SSA things, but actually like real scuba equipment or whatever. Um, and they've been around a while. And so this is like a professional one that has like a air compressor on it. And if you search actually online, you can see more about surface supply air diver programs. You can actually get certified in that, I guess. And you can buy. This is basically the same type of deal as the Brownies one. I guess this is that exact same company, at least. Maybe not that exact same model. But you're talking like a $2,000 investment. But these things can go, obviously that's more than 10 feet worth of line. These things can go, 40 feet deep, etc. You can get them to mount on your deck. This can do 20 cubic feet. So that's how much pressure it can do. So 10 atmospheres. That could go pretty deep. So 50-foot hose. Okay, there you go. So this one can do 50 feet if you've got a ship to put on. And I suppose this one is so this one's not a gas-powered compressor. It's just a electric one, which you can hook up to your boat. So that's kind of what the state of the art is. And there's a lot of other ones. This one's called a power snorkel for 2 users, basically one system with 2 outlets. $2,900. All kinds of options here. Yeah, you can see sort of how it works. So this one is battery powered. But yeah, pretty expensive. So if we go back and look at the Nemo, here's actually the on-demand Indiegogo version. Let's see, Explorer Pack Single, $580. This one is still available, I guess. You can get it with a backpack. You can get it with an extra battery, etc. So, which one? This is the original. I guess this one's still available. Okay, so this is just the system. $450. That's not too bad. It's only 10 feet, but what the heck? So what's this one come with that doesn't? It comes with extra battery in the backpack. So as a device, it looks okay. It's actually pretty. There's actually a lot more to it than just, okay, it's a compressor and a hose. Like, obviously, safety is a big thing, as I mentioned. There's even things like, you have to check the air quality, make sure that, if the wrong kind of compressor could introduce carbon dioxide or, chemical vapors, oil. If it was like I had an oil compressor, I'm just going to leave it here on the recurring butt. No, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, you can't go anywhere without seeing lots of buttocks. But yeah, you can. And if you're using the pool, I guess you don't need that little inflator thing because the foam is actually what's providing enough ventilation, enough flotation. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of things, but these guys are actually, because they're the same people that make the Brownie. They kind of know what they're doing, which is good. In this case, having a big company in the back is a good thing. Getting it certified with CE and UL and all that is another issue, especially because it's an electric device. That's one of the things that a lot of people in the comments had questions about. It's definitely going to make it late, I'm sure, because that stuff takes a while. But considering that they're already selling commercial products, at least in the U.S., I think that means they can get it to market. This is actually something that they made previously as a Kickstarter, and I guess it didn't actually get to market yet. So they actually talk about this in the comments because people ask about it. This is like a higher, I don't know if they have a picture of it, basically a higher output system that could go further. And so the Nomad was supposed to go to like 40 feet, and they have some super deep one. But basically, depth not yet determined. So this was going to be like an expensive one. And they didn't have the funds to get it to market. but they wanted to also get the resources, I should say. They wanted to get this one out first, so they decided to launch this, and they're claiming that the success of this will help them get the bigger ones out the door that much faster. Man, lots of butts. So anyway, given that, execution-wise, done pretty well. Talking about they got FAQ. Did they talk about warranty? They got updates, and so this is where it gets confusing, because the updates and the comments are actually all on the Kickstarter, because this is where people were, the 200 something people were backing it. So yeah, they've got the questions here. They've got the updates, lots of updates. Actually, they're mentioning that they reached their goal times 3.5. Lots of details, etc., etc. So very good communication. And so this part is done well. The question and answering the comments is also done quite well. Like you can see, they just answered yesterday. And even in Spanish, I guess. Gracias por el soporte, Miguel. Te vamos a la ver buscando. My Spanish sucks. So, yeah. Actually answering lots of questions, and people start going to the question of, well, not this guy, but they actually talk about CE certification and the background of the company, and is that company going to go out of business, and are they going to take all their money, etc. So, people are asking and they're answering, so that's actually good that they're open and talking about it. I should say, like, as far as communication goes, I think this guy, whoever it is, Blake, is one of the best executions on Kickstarter and or Indiegogo that I've seen. Like, fucking writing essays in answers to pretty much every question. And so they're working on including blah blah blah. So he's pretty honest. When they don't have stuff done, he's answering it. So that's already pretty good. And answering about the background, they've been pretty open about it as far as I can tell. So what do you guys think? $600, $500? What was the original? Early bird was only $350. Wow. Okay, so if you got in there, that's pretty good. They're estimating December here, January, February. I guess depends on which ones you're backing. If you back the bigger pack, do you get it earlier? Yeah, I guess so. And here now they're saying if you buy it here, February or March. Okay, so that's actually good that they're not like just saying it's going to be in 5 weeks. They're trying to actually meter your expectations. So yeah, February, that's pretty doable. I guess they claim they have 6 working prototypes and now they're just perfecting it before sending it off to get manufactured. So what do I think? Yeah, I mean, especially compared to what else is out there. Those commercial ones, obviously super expensive. If you guys ever watch, what is it, Yukon Gold or Gold Rush Underwater or whatever that one is. There's one of those Discovery Channel ones, Under the Ice Gold Mining or whatever it is. They use these kinds of things a lot. Basically I don't know why they do it in the winter. I guess because they can't do regular gold mining in the winter. But they'll go under the ice. Actually, they do both, right? So they've got these kind of systems on the deck of the ship or the barge or the whatever. They just cut a hole in the ice and drag one of those things out. Then the guy will go underwater. And those ones are obviously a little bit more complicated. Well, definitely more complicated than Nemo because they're going a lot deeper. But they're even more complicated than these guys because they're doing it in the cold. So you actually need another one which has like a hot water to go down and circulate in your suit or whatever. But needless to say, similar technology. So because of those, I actually sort of somewhat interested in these kind of things. And like I said, there's some expensive ones out there. There's also other Kickstarters that have tried to do the same thing. Some people actually mentioned this one, like, it's going to end up like Air Buddy, or how come Air Buddy could go 12 meters and yours only goes 3 meters? Well, the fact is Air Buddy has not yet come out. So if you click through this one's from last year, and it was supposed to be done a couple months ago. It's supposed to be delivered a couple months ago, and apparently has not yet done that. And so theirs was more expensive. Let's see, spare battery. Super early bird was like 1,000 US, give or take, and so the regular price would have been whatever, $1,500 or something. Yeah. So and then on top of that, we're making progress steadily. Actually, it's still updating, so they're still working on it. That's good. But they have these kind of weird cryptic things like they're unveiled it and they're moving forward and high risk for 3-month delay. Oh, that's not good. That was, maybe they were still thinking they were going to make it on time for June. Unfortunately, you can't see these because they're all backer only. And if you're not a backer from last year, you're not going to be able to see it. But yeah, they're at least still updating. So these guys have something very similar, if you guys want to look at it. But basically a little bit higher output, and they had a little coily hose. And it looks like this one doesn't have any. The other one, Nemo, had like a warning system if your batteries are running low, so there was a wire running down the line and a couple other things. This one doesn't look like it's quite the same. But yeah, so didn't end up happening yet. They're still working on it. People asking for refunds, and people are like, what the fuck, taking too long. So yeah. So you can see it's like no one's asked too many questions in the last couple of months. I guess all the comments are going to the updates. Anyway, so that's way too much talking about underwater scuba systems, not scuba, SSA systems. Interesting, but, I would be a little bit trepidatious just because, you could die. How about that? Slightly dangerous. But then again, it's only 10 feet, so if this thing shuts off, you don't have to worry about the bends when you come up, right? Actually, I guess you don't, because you sort of technically would because it's compressing the air, but you don't have to worry too much because it's only 10 feet, right? So anyway, but it is compressed air, so there's potential, like, I don't know, if this thing went haywire and overpressurized, could the regulator protect you against that? Hopefully it will, but I don't know, you could potentially like burst your lung or something, who knows, right? Or it gets more likely it gets water in there and you somehow like suck down a mouthful of water and you start choking underwater and your cable went around a abandoned ship and then you can't go to the surface and you're stuck. This thing also, by the way, like has like a little shoulder strap so that you're not dragging this thing from your mouth. That's a good thing, but although this is, I don't know, they could have probably used a belt, right? I don't know if they need the whole backpack thing. Anyway, so I'm going to give this one I'm going to give it a total 100% neutral. I like the idea. I like the fact that they're executing it relatively well. But I don't know if this is the kind of product that I should be buying sight unseen without any like accreditation or testing. Send it to Consumer Reports if they say this thing is super safe without a license to use. Maybe I'll reconsider. But, otherwise I'll stick with a regular snorkel or I'll actually go scuba diving. Okay, that's it for today. See you guys next time here on Go Kick Me. Do check out our other videos and give us a thumbs up and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Go Kick Me and also GoKickMedia.com. Okay, see you later. Bye.